Hi, I'm Chris, and in this video we're taking a look at an introductory problem for integration by parts using the tabular method, which basically means you're going to create a table and you're going to use that table to figure out the final expression instead of the uv minus integral of v du formula that you may have seen before. So for this integral, and this is a common one that you see a lot of times when introducing tabular method, and it's a good introductory integral because it's not that complicated to take the derivatives of x and e to the x. E to the x just derives to e to the x, and x, hopefully by this point in the year, we're familiar with how to use power rule to derive that. So what's important is to understand how to set up our table. So we're going to have 3 columns in our table when using tabular method. One column will be for the sign value that you have. It'll be either a positive or a negative, and you're always going to start with a positive in there. Then you're going to have a value of u, a value of dv, and we're going to go through. Okay. So in this problem, for u, we start with a value of x, and we're going to take the derivative of u. So we're given u, we need to figure out du. So we're going to take the derivative and we're going to keep going all the way, more and more derivatives until we get to 0. So the first derivative of x is just 1, and then when we take that next derivative we get to 0, and we can stop there. For dv, so dv is what's left, which would be e to the x in this case, and in this column, since we start with dv, we're actually going to take the integral, meaning we're trying to find v. So for this we're going to take the integral of each value all the way until we match a value up with that 0 value from the derivative column. So here the integral of e to the x will just be e to the x. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. So that's why we like working with this as an introductory problem. Okay. Now the sign values that you have over here will just alternate. So it goes positive, negative, positive for those 3 rows in our table. And now, in order to come up with your final expression, you're going to link up the positive sign that you have in the top left. You're going to go straight across and then down 1 row and multiply each of those values. For the negative, you're going to go straight across and then diagonally down to the next row and multiply those values. And you can stop once you get to 0. 0 times anything is 0, so you don't need to go through the process of adding or subtracting that from your problem. Your problem is done when you get to the 0. So if we go to write out our final expression, it'll be a positive x times e to the x, and then a negative 1 times e to the x will be minus e to the x. And for good measure, we want to make sure that we remember to write in plus c. If this is one of the free response questions on an AP Calc exam, for example, then you really want to make sure you get in a habit of writing that in so that you make sure to get that point on those free response questions. So here, create your table, sign u dv, derive, derive, derive until 0, integrate, 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 match it up, alternate the signs, and go straight across to the right and diagonally down, straight across to the right and diagonally down, add them up, and you've got your answer. For more, please feel free to check out our other videos, and thanks for watching.